A man becomes obsessed with an idea he can't control and shouldn't pursue. This is the story of Lolita. Humbert arrives in America carrying a lifetime of loneliness, grief, and unresolved desire. He rents a room from Charlotte Hayes, a widow desperate for attention and stability. Humbert barely notices her, but he becomes fixated on her young daughter, Dolores. He calls her Lolita, turning her into a fantasy instead of a real person. Charlotte falls in love with Humbert and pressures him into marriage. He agrees only to stay close to Lolita, hiding his true motives behind politeness. Charlotte discovers his secret journal and realizes the truth about his obsession. Horrified, she runs into the street and dies in a sudden accident. Humbert takes custody of Lolita, convincing himself fate has given him what he wanted. He takes her on a long road trip across America, drifting from motel to motel. He controls the money, the travel, the decisions, and the story he tells himself. Lolita becomes trapped in his world, manipulated by his charm, lies, and emotional pressure. Humbert convinces himself it's love, but everything he does isolates her further. Their journey becomes a cycle of control, guilt, and constant movement. Lolita grows restless, angry, and desperate for escape. A mysterious figure begins appearing in their travels, watching from a distance. Lolita eventually disappears with this stranger, leaving Humbert frantic and confused. He searches for her across states, convinced she was kidnapped by a rival. Years pass before he receives a letter from her. She's older now, married, pregnant, and struggling to survive. She asks for money, not affection, not forgiveness, not connection. Humbert visits her and finally sees the truth he avoided for years. Lolita was never his fantasy, never his creation, never his possession. She was a child forced into a life she didn't choose. Humbert realizes the full weight of what he did and what he stole from her. He hunts down the man who took her away, Claire Quilty, a playwright who manipulated her too. Their confrontation ends in violence, chaos, and Humbert's arrest. Humbert writes his confession from prison, claiming it's a love story. But the truth is clear beneath every line. It's a story of obsession, delusion, and the destruction caused by a man who refused to see reality. Lolita survives, scarred but determined to build a life beyond the men who used her. Humbert dies awaiting trial, leaving behind a manuscript that exposes his own downfall. And that's Lolita. Like and follow for more book recaps. Comment which book you want next.